Hi, in this video I want to talk about using the database splitter in Access. I want to talk about what the database splitter is, when you want to use it, and how to use it. So the database splitter, the main purpose of it is to take the tables that are in the current database that you're working in and place them in another database, and then link those tables from that other database into your current database. Now, of course, you wouldn't really want to do this if your tables were already linked from another database into this one. But in the case where you've gone through the process of developing your database and then say to yourself, I think that really linking these tables from another database into this one will help to keep the data and the tables protected better, is a good choice. And so I want to go ahead and split this database into two databases. So the first thing that you want to do in order to split a database is you're going to come up to Database Tools. And then I'm going to move over here to where it says Access Database. And you'll notice what the hint there says. Access Database, split a database into two files, one containing the tables and one containing the queries and forms. And actually, that's not quite true. It means splitting the database into two files, one with all of the tables and the rest with the other objects in that particular database. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Access Database, and it says this wizard moves tables from your current database to a new backend database. In multi-user environments, this reduces network traffic and allows continuous front-end development without affecting data or interrupting users. If your database is protected with a password, the new backend database will be created without a password and will be accessible to all users. You'll need to add a password to the backend database after it's split. And then it says it could be a long process. Make a backup copy of your database before splitting it. Now, this particular database doesn't have anything in it, so I don't need to make a backup. But in the case when I do have other objects in my database, I'm going to go ahead and back it up. And actually, truthfully, it probably is a good idea in many cases, even for protecting your data, to make a backup. In this case, this particular database is not, it's just an example, so I'm not going to back it up. But anyway, moving on, I'm going to click on Split Database. All right, and so now it's going to ask me what the name of the tables database that I want to have named for the file name. And so I'm going to say tables here. So I'm going to give it all the same name, except I'm going to put tables. And then I'm going to click on split. And it's going to go through and split the database into two files, one for tables and then one for this particular table or database that will hold all of the other objects. So the process did take a few moments, so I went ahead and turned off the recorder while it was processing. But now it says database successfully split. So I'm going to click on OK. And over here you will notice now that there are little arrows here, and they are pointing to each one of the icons for the tables. And those little arrows indicate that the tables are each linked. And I can go ahead and I can still open those tables and look at the data inside those tables. But you will notice that if I close this after looking at the data, and I go into design view, you get an error if you try to go into design view. It's not really an error, it's an informational message saying that you cannot change the setup of the table. And so we can go in and look at it, but you cannot change it. So I could show you. So for example, I'll put a 2 here and I'll try to close it, and I can say yes, I want to try to close it. And it says access can't save property changes for the linked tables. So you want to continue anyway, and I can say yes. And it closed. Anyway, so that is basically what you need to know about splitting your database.